Immigration has long been at the heart of Canada's identity, fueling its growth as one of the most multicultural nations in the world. For decades, the country has prided itself on being a beacon for those seeking refuge and opportunity. However, as global circumstances shift and political landscapes change, immigration has become a contentious issue. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government, while committed to maintaining Canada's humanitarian traditions, has faced increasing pressure to balance immigration policies with domestic concerns. Recently, Trudeau issued a stern warning to opposition leaders about undermining Canada's immigration system, highlighting the complexity of the debate. A legacy of welcoming immigrants, Canada has always been known for its welcoming approach to immigration. Under the leadership of Justin Trudeau, the Liberal government has remained steadfast in its commitment to providing refuge to those displaced by war, persecution, and humanitarian crisis. Notably, the country's response to the Syrian refugee crisis stands out as a testament to its open-door policy. This long-standing legacy of inclusivity has shaped the modern Canadian immigration strategy, which focuses on both economic immigration and refugee resettlement. Economic immigration addresses labor shortages in critical sectors, while refugee resettlement offers sanctuary to those fleeing conflict or persecution. These two components have formed the backbone of Canada's immigration system. However, in recent years, the growing number of asylum seekers and increased public concern over housing, healthcare, and social services have placed immense pressure on the system. The growing immigration debate. In recent times, immigration has become one of the most polarized topics in Canadian politics. Opposition parties, particularly the Conservative Party, have been vocal in their criticism of Trudeau's immigration policies. They argue that the influx of immigrants is placing undue strain on Canada's housing market, healthcare system, and public services. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has been particularly outspoken, suggesting that high immigration numbers are a major driver behind rising home prices. He claims that the demand for housing driven by newcomers is pushing costs higher, exacerbating an already challenging situation for Canadian families. This criticism resonates with many Canadians, particularly those feeling the effects of rising living costs. As housing affordability becomes a growing concern, calls for stricter immigration policies and reduced immigration levels have gained traction. Many Canadians, concerned about the impact on employment and social services, argue that the country needs to reassess its approach to immigration. However, Trudeau and the Liberal government have responded by emphasizing the economic and social contributions that immigrants make to the country. They argue that immigration is not only a moral obligation, but also an economic necessity. Immigrants, they contend, contribute significantly to the Canadian workforce and help address demographic challenges, such as an aging population and low birth rates. In this view, immigration is seen not as a problem, but as a solution to Canada's long-term economic sustainability. Trudeau's warning to opposition leaders. Amidst the growing political tensions, Prime Minister Trudeau issued a strong warning to opposition leaders. Speaking at a press conference, he reminded Canadians that immigration is central to Canada's identity and prosperity. He cautioned that undermining the nation's immigration policies could have severe long-term consequences, both for the country's economy and its global reputation. Canada is a country built by immigrants, Trudeau said. To suggest that immigration is a problem rather than a solution is to ignore the fundamental truths about what makes Canada strong. He emphasized that immigration contributes to Canada's cultural diversity, economic vitality, and international standing, and warned that divisive rhetoric around immigration could harm the country's unity and success. Trudeau's message was especially pointed toward the Conservative Party, which has raised concerns about the sustainability of high immigration levels. He made it clear that his government would not back away from its commitment to welcoming immigrants despite the political opposition. Addressing practical concerns, while Trudeau remains firm in his support for immigration, his government has also taken steps to address the practical concerns raised by critics. For example, the rise in housing costs, particularly in cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, has been a significant issue. To alleviate some of these pressures, Trudeau's government has introduced measures such as the Canada Housing Benefit, which supports low-income renters, and various initiatives aimed at increasing the availability of affordable housing. Additionally, the government has focused on improving the integration of immigrants into Canadian society. Programs offering language training, cultural orientation, and job placement services have been expanded to ensure that newcomers can more easily contribute to the workforce and settle into Canadian communities. These initiatives are designed to reduce the strain on public services and ensure that immigration remains an asset rather than a burden. At the same time, the government has worked to streamline the immigration process, making it more efficient and responsive to both the needs of applicants and employers. This includes expanding pathways for skilled workers and improving the processing times for immigration applications. The road ahead. Striking a balance, Looking forward, Canada faces the ongoing challenge of balancing its commitment to welcoming immigrants with the concerns of Canadians who feel that the current system is overstretched. Immigration will continue to be a key issue in the lead-up to the 2025 federal election, with opposition parties likely to continue challenging the Liberal government's policies. As the global landscape continues to evolve, Canada's immigration debate is unlikely to be settled easily. The conversation will need to evolve to address both domestic concerns, such as housing affordability and integration, while ensuring that Canada remains true to its values of inclusion, fairness, and opportunity. Ultimately, the challenge will be to find practical, sustainable solutions that can preserve Canada's global reputation as a land of opportunity. Canada's immigration system stands at a crossroads. As Prime Minister Trudeau has emphasized, the country's future is deeply tied to its commitment to immigration. While it is essential to address concerns around housing, healthcare, and integration, it is equally important to recognize that immigration is a cornerstone of Canada's success. By finding a balance between inclusivity and practicality, Canada can continue to thrive as a diverse, prosperous, and compassionate nation. That's the end of today's video. If you found this insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.